When moments like that, how tough are those discussions when you have to have them when there's, like you said, there's a lot being said from all kinds of directions about what you said. How tough is it to sift through everything to make sure they get your point of what you meant and clear the air?
Well, I think it's the intent, right? What was the intent? And I think just the emotions, the built up emotions after the game, no one wants to lose, but just not allowing myself to stay in the moment and just kind of get outside of that. You know, you just have those kind of conversations. What is the intent? And then you kind of move from there. So we've had some conversations with that.
In general, do you feel at this moment that overall team culture is still an issue?
I wouldn't say so. Having conversation with guys today, seeing the way guys are out there at practice, I wouldn't say so.
What sort of reaction have you gotten in your conversations with teammates? Would you classify it as understanding or anger or frustration or what sort?
Well, I would say guys had questions about it, right? So you gotta answer those questions, the why, and then some of the whys were like, man, at that time I didn't think of it like that, you know, and so as I said, that's something I got to be better with in protecting the team, and just can't do that.
All right, welcome back. And that was Tua, his day to speak, and did the apology.
Bro, what are we doing here?
Well, he had to do the apology.
I mean, this is brutal.
Were you surprised on he had to do an apology
but he did.
yesterday?
Like he opened it up with a 2-minute apology. I mean, what are we doing?
He has to do that. What do you mean?
These questions, it's like,
oh, you mean
I
the questions?
I get that the whole thing's embarrassing. But I get that everyone's like trying to poke and prod and searching for him to try to say something stupid.
But that was the whole thing. What, you think they're going to ask him about the Cleveland secondary? Do you think they're going to ask him about?
It's turned into a soap opera over there.
Can you run the ball this week? You looking to get outside the pocket?
I mean, that would be refreshing, wouldn't it, to hear them talk about like. Again, the whole press conference is like just trying to get him to say something.
Right. And now this is what, when you did that, I told you that this was going to be, wasn't going to be anything about football, and it was going to be all about how did everybody receive you? Did anybody say anything? What the hell were you thinking? All that stuff. And he had to suck it up because he realized he effed up.
It's Thursday morning, though, man.
I know.
It's Thursday.
I agree.
And like week 7 begins tonight. The next week of football begins tonight, and we're still doing this?
Yes.
All over ESPN this morning.
Yes.
It's on NFL Network this morning.
Yes. We got more opinions coming today before the game tonight.
The Dolphins are not an interesting football team. They're not a good football team, and yet they're still dominating the TV. Like,
because you had something happen, as Baldy said this morning. In all my years, I don't remember a quarterback doing something like that. So, it became a story. And then, by the way, the casual fans jumped in because they could this kind of goes back. I was thinking of Bullygate, with the whole bully thing. All the schools and the moms were like, this guy, Richie Incognito, needs to go away, because everybody's,
Well, the way the original story was painted, it was bad. And so people were rightfully so. They were upset.
So,
eventually the truth starts to come out.
This one everybody has an opinion. From casual fan to hardcore fan. By the way,
it has a little soap opera feel to it. Yes.
But it's not all one way. There are some people that think Tua's got a right to do that. If they're being like that, and he should be the guy. And
you know what the Dolphins are like? They're like that show my wife watches at night with all the women that are screaming at each other.
Housewives?
Yeah.
Which one she like? The Atlanta Housewives?
I don't know, man, but they're always screaming at each other and fighting and stuff.
I love the Atlanta Housewives. They get after it. Some of the other one, like Miami Wives, does nothing for them. The Atlanta Wives.
Which is the one with the Pippen wife?
That's Miami Housewives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen her recently on there.
Yeah.
Looks good.
No, she does. But no, it's the Atlanta because they get into, they you could see they're almost stand up ready to fight each other. They get out of the Atlanta Housewives only.
But that's what the Dolphins are.
Yeah.
They're a drama. They're a reality show.
When you should be totally focused.
Trying to win a game, like trying to go up and beat a team that you should be able to beat.
And head of communications is saying, well, Our media is not going to care very much about Browns and what they do well and they don't do, and the rookie quarterback and their defense not very good in the red zone, even though they're number 3 overall. They're going to be asking you not about, hey, who are you going to target and what do you think you can do against them? All they're going to ask you about is what were you thinking? How did everybody take it? Did anybody give you an? And so he stood up there. I give him credit. He it's just amazing that he had no idea after he said those things and he left. Like, I don't know, man. Have you ever done? I do it. I say things and I walk away and I go, uh-oh, I just messed up. I don't know. Does that ever go off with you after you say something?
It happens a lot.
Or right away I go, oh no. Oh, why'd I do that? And sure enough, the person I think is going to call goes, really? Really?
Yeah, but these are press conferences, man.
So anyway,
you're the quarterback of the Dolphins. You're getting paid $250 million, and they're press conferences. You got to do it for 10 minutes a week. 10 minutes during the week, 10 minutes after the game. You got to do it. It's part of the deal.
Well, I
part of getting all that money.
I'm not mad at anybody for the stuff yesterday. He handled it, but he's the one who created it, so he should have to handle it.
He did handle it,
yeah.
And he handled it fine, and it's not the day to dogpile on the dude, but it's just the whole, if you look take a step back, the whole thing's just very embarrassing.
You see where it is? Do you see where ESPN put it yesterday?
Yeah,
right to the top.
Because it's a drama story.
It was ahead of the World Series and the 5 home runs or 8 home runs in the World Series. Is ahead of anything that you thought was really great in sports last night. Not Detroit beating the Panthers, by the way, 4-1. But yeah,
those stories draw clicks.
By the way, the other one that's
great
been
for business.
The guy that punched the guy from the Lions that got suspended.
Yeah.
They've shown that picture of him hitting Schuster. Like, I've seen it now 200 times. Everybody's got an opinion.
That's a juicy story, but
he should be kicked out longer. They don't care about sports,
But you're right about the Dolphins story. Anyone that likes a little drama can get involved in this team. They're perfect. Well, by the way, they lose on Sunday.
Oh,
all bets are off. Who knows what they're going to say after that?
Yeah. It's no matter how.
I thought they hit rock bottom when they lost to Carolina.
But
I guess it could get worse.
No matter how many quality guys you have in your locker room, when you talk about this many players, sooner or later things will crack. Whether a player tells his agent something, who leaks something to a media member, but you keep losing. And there is going to be a crack in that organization. It just is. Somewhere between the GM, the head coach, and the players, something will crack. Losing, and that's why the first thing Mike comes out, I feel really good. Our guys are still playing hard. We got a great locker room. Of course he's going to say that. What do you think? Somebody's going to go, hey, Mike, man, you're losing us, brother. So anyway, that was all of yesterday. We got a big show coming up here. Kim Bokamper is going to join us. The big fella joins us. He's been a little fired up about this team too. Pete Prisco, who, by the way, during camp, columnist for CBS Sports, just not a fan of this team, and he took a lot of heat. And he's got a big smile on his face because he is right on the money.